Tuesday on YouTube and Facebook Live and sometimes Event TV Global if Robert puts it on there or not. The Polynesian Panda, it's up to him. But without ado, I'm here with my partner in crime, Adam, according to Woods.
What's good, party people? Let's get into some fun right now.
That's right. And I have to my right as well, young man and amazing fighter, Nick Patea.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You got a nickname, Nick?
Slick Nick.
Slick Nick Patea. Now, I've seen Nick fight at Spar Stars many times, doing his thing out there, so we're really proud to have him here because win or lose, Nick brings 100% of himself to every fight, you know, and people know it. And, man, you have a crowd. It's a fighter's job to bring their crowd with them and to sell tickets, and Nick does just that.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to everyone that always gets my tickets, always comes out. We always come with 50-plus people, and if you want to be part of that crowd, let me know.
That's right. You know what?
Welcome everybody.
I know some blonde chick, lady, Shauna, and she was in the crowd rooting for you, but I know her from other places.
Oh, yeah.
I forget her last name, Shauna. Anyways, I interviewed her, and you know what? Pulled her aside. We were getting like fan appreciation stuff, and she goes, "I'm here for Nick Patea.
Oh,
not
yeah.
for the show,
Shauna's
not for
girl.
Commerce Casino, but for Nick." And that's really cool. I should have put that clip up, but yeah, that's kind of cool that people already know you out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yep.
it's coming up. But straight out of CSW, right? And before that, All In, you were telling me.
Oh, yeah.
So where did you start this whole love for MMA? Where does it come from?
Well, actually, I was a bad kid, and I kept getting in trouble, getting in with the wrong crowd, and then my mom, put me in there for discipline, Taekwondo originally, and then I just had like a Taekwondo match.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the thing that sparked it. The thing that, the limelight that I had.
That's cool.
Where
was that at?
It was just at some, Brea Linda High School or something.
Someplace local.
Yeah, it's very local.
But you were young, though, huh?
Yeah, I was 12 or 13, but the little, 10 minutes I got of everybody's attention.
It's a big deal.
That's what really drove me in. Wrestled in high school, and then right after high school, got into the whole MMA thing.
Very cool. Very cool. I did the same thing. 7 years old, I fought in Caesar's Palace. Kempo Karate. 1979, baby. So I know that feeling. I was a little kid. No joke.
Damn. That's one way to do it, Dondo. Holy
It's a fact.
Yeah.
Somebody has footage out there.
There you go.
Gotta
Right?
be. Gotta
On
be.
some old camera that they probably wind up or something. But I'm just relating to my man here. He's telling me about his Taekwondo thing.
Oh, yeah.
In Brea Lindo High School. That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Holy
shit.
It's good to know where Nick comes from because when he goes out there, there's lights and there's music and there's, bigger fighters even. And there's just, there's a bunch of things that can make a person's adrenaline pump and then dump and then they cannot perform.
Mm-hmm.
And yet you handle it like a seasoned professional. I mean, I never see you out of your element. You're at home in the cage is what I'm getting at.
Oh, yeah.
Where does that come from? How do you get so centered?
I don't know, man. It's just the I think it's really the support that I'm given. To have that big of a crowd behind me, it's like I'd be doing them wrong if I didn't try my hardest. So I never really get in my own head. I don't really, overthink it all because one thing that, if you ain't working hard, that's when your doubt is gonna come in. That's when, all those bad thoughts are gonna come in.
Yeah.
And so I know I work hard, and I have all these people that love me whether I win or I lose. So I have no problem leaving it out there, and I'm always going to have that.
That's good. I like that. And that's what it's about because you're just doing your job, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's what you train
Exactly.
for. That's a good place to come from, man. I like that.
So after your initial kind of entry into martial arts, a traditional aspect of it, how did you find the sport of MMA?
I just threw myself out there, and I was like, man, I'm not bad at this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just throw myself in the fire, and threw myself in the fire, got burned a bit, and then I found out I'm actually not quite bad at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I spent
That's
a lot
good, man.
of wasted time doing a bunch of other sports, but once I found the one, it just kind of clicked.
That's
And
cool.
it just felt kind of at home.
Now, was it the love of fighting itself, or was there a particular fight that you saw that kind of influenced you, and you're like, hey, I want to do that?
I don't know. It's kind of, I watched a lot of Benson Henderson when he was
right,
UFC champ, and I think a lot of people look over him. Like, they kind of forget now that he's in Bellator.
Stylistically, he's amazing,
Dude,
right?
he's a beast, and he just made it look so, I don't want to like it was really like beautiful,
effortless
yeah,
and beautiful.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
right.
Absolutely.
You're right. He
And
made it. The art shows,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly, Smooth Henderson, and,
Right. That's the name too. That's right.
Like that's the dude that really got me into it because he's also like most humble dude.
Yeah.
Like I've never like heard him say nothing bad or so he was the kind of the fighter, and I'd watch all of his fights, especially the Nate Diaz one, both of the Frankie Edgar ones.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh gosh,
dude,
those
he
are
looked
beautiful.
like he
Yeah.
made it effortless.
Yep. WEC days.
Mhm.
You know it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't get knocked out by that Pettis kick.
That's right.
Letting everybody
That-
know.
that was the
Yeah.
last.
Still
of
went
that,
on.
right?
Yeah.
That was a-
absolutely.
That was
But,
great.
I
Back in
mean,
WEC. Yeah.
He didn't get knocked out. I got
No.
you, Ben.
There
They
you
keep
go.
playing it.
He did. He's
Yeah.
still doing it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
absolutely. And I mean, shout out to Benson and Eddie Chaw as well
Right.
as
MMA
Henry
Lab.
Corrales at
Oh,
the
yeah.
lab.
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
You know what? If you can throw it up,
Ooh,
you
yeah.
throw it up, Robert. Producer
Let's catch
Robert,
it.
who doesn't have a microphone on, is telling us he's got some footage. So I say put it up because it inspires me, it inspires Nick, and I'm sure Adam loves it.
Oh yeah.
So give us a second here, and we're going to put up some cool stuff that Robert was actually able to film. I think for the Bellator fights that just passed, which is really, really cool. But Nick, what brought you to Sparstar? Where did you fight before that? Because that's pretty high level stuff now. I mean,
Yeah,
LA, it's a big deal.
It was actually, I got to give props out to my former head coach, Mike Rush. He always got us really, really dope shows. He got his stuff in Hawaii. He got his stuff in Vegas. And he's a grinder, especially for us. And,
Yeah.
I mean, I can't forget where I came from. And so he's really the one that,
Yeah.
you know, put all of us on. So,
That's very cool. So you fought in Hawaii?
yeah.
Where'd you fight at?
In Maui,
Oh, Maui. Okay,
Yeah.
right on.
super cool.
That is cool.
How was that experience for you, man? I mean, it's one thing to fight maybe out of city, out of state.
Yeah.
But I mean, yes, Hawaii is a state
Mhm.
technically,
yeah.
but it could be a whole nother.
And they
Oh,
bring
yeah,
it.
dude.
They
It
come to
was-
fight, dude.
absolutely.
They bring it. That's
Oh,
a whole
yeah.
different element, right?
Yeah, for sure do. I mean, I had trouble. Like, I was just like, oh, I got to make weight, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I kind of took it as a business trip. It wasn't like a vacation. Like, I was like, you know, I'll get to Hawaii when I'm done fighting.
Very
I'm
cool.
not really. I don't really care to go about going to the beach. I don't really care about especially with the Islanders. Like, I ain't got no problem. I know that they want to cheer for their boy, and I can respect that. I respect anybody that steps in the cage with me, and so I have no problem with them not cheering for me. I'd go for the home guy all the time too.
Right on. No, that's
Yeah,
bold
that-
though that you stepped up, and still you got some home blood there, man. Some Samoans
Mhm.
are there too, so it's all
Exactly.
good.
Yeah, man. Polynesian, dude. I love that because Mike Ripe as half caste Fijian. Like there aren't
The Fijian
as
Freak
many-
Show.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
there aren't as many Polynesians, in MMA, and I think
Yeah.
it's like you kind of see it with boxing and David Tua. There's obviously in pro wrestling, you've got
Isn't
the
Whitaker
Anawai-
Polynesian? Whitaker's Polynesian.
Whitaker is, but again, so for all of us, I mean, any island, from Tahiti, Hawaii, whatever, it's a very strong warrior culture,
Yeah,
and
That's for sure.
you would think that there would be more of us competing in kind of hard fought stuff, and not to say that rugby or cricket or any of the other sports that we compete in are lesser than. I would never say that, but you would think that we would be more with as many scraps as we get into.
Oh, yeah.
At the bar.
Especially in heavyweight, man.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
huge.
You would think there would be more
Yeah.
of us, other than just Robert Whitaker and Mark Hunt, and those are great additions to the rule. But there should be more of us.
Yeah, way more. I don't know what they're doing.
There needs to be a gym. I think.
Yeah.
I think Nick Patea
And no weight
opened up a
cutting.
CSW.
Yeah,
out in
no weight
Samoa.
cutting.
No weight cuts. I
Yeah,
like
man.
that.
Not for the Islanders.
That's right.
Just go wherever you at.
Loco
There you
Moco
go.
diet.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, I ain't mad at that, dude. So, being half Samoan, dude, so where did you grow up initially?
I just grew up in Anaheim. I kind of, like my father kind of had like a really bad childhood, so he moved out. He moved from Samoa like at age like 10, 13, and then he grew up in Long Beach. But so we kind of like lost, like a bunch of family members, and not lost, but like we just aren't very connected. But no matter what, it's still in my blood, and I feel like very proud, very proud to have that warrior blood and like naturally like that grit and that heart. Especially it flows with, like you said, all the Islanders and even the Mexicans, man. They
Hell yeah.
yeah. You if you see any of them boxers,
Right.
they ain't never step back.
Chavez
Nope.
Senior,
Yeah,
one of the
never,
greatest ever.
never.
Ever. That was who I grew up with boxing, and one of the reasons why people love Triple G is he's more Chavez Senior S than even Chavez Junior or any other fighter.
He's a beast, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a pretty cool lineage. I mean, to be a fighter and Samoan and Latino, again, two cultures that are like primarily fight for your family, fight for everything you got. Gritty. And I'm not just talking about the kava, but
we're gonna have a kava ceremony in here on Adam's birthday, just so you know. And if we're talking funnies because we can't feel our teeth, our tongue, or nothing.
No, it'll be like getting knocked out by Nick Patea.
Exactly.
Yeah, it won't be as pretty.
We'll invite Nick back for that kava ceremony.
Yeah,
I'm there.
There you go, man. So, so you were talking about head coach Mike Rush. So how did you end up initially starting over there and All In?
I just jumped into their sparring and got lifted up by Francisco Rivera. He's always whooping me over there. He's a beast, man. But I like it being hard because if famous quote, if it was easy, everyone would do it.
Right, absolutely.
Right.
So I think I fell in love with kind of getting whooped, and I wanted to be start getting them and start getting their respect. And then Mike Rush just took me under. Yeah, exactly. Mike Rush just took me under his wing, and it was just all from there. I just showed him that I'm not going anywhere, and he said, "All right, let's go."
So timeline-wise, how long ago was that?
I've been with them since I was even with them last year. I just transferred to CSW not too long ago, but it was just we was losing everybody from the gym. We only had 5 guys there. And it's great. They're great 5 guys.
Sure.
No disrespect, but
want to mix it up a little.
Yeah, I only have 5 guys here.
Sure.
So
at All In, what were you putting together? You got some Muay Thai, got some Jiu-Jitsu,
some
boxing going?
Yeah, but I think for the most part, it was just a bunch of sparring and a bunch of stand-up. They're all in, and they'll do it all. We do it all, but
the focus is striking?
Yeah, focus striking for sure.
Okay. So you move over to CSW, and in that time, have things changed?
Oh, dramatically.
Okay.
So
how are you putting your game together now? So obviously coming from a striking background, obviously we all know that the ground is super important. How you dealing with that?
I'm slowly transitioning into it. After I lost my first fight by submission,
eye-opening.
Yeah,
right?
it was really damn, I don't know what I'm doing down there.
Yeah.
So for a while I was just jiu-jitsu. And then, I'm slow. It's kind of not really my thing. Yeah. But to say, I'm not gonna go to the ground. Yeah. It don't make sense.
Prepare
so you got to there. Yeah. So CSW has really helped me with it. A bunch of wrestling, bunch of catch wrestling.
It's the right place to be, man. That's smart. Yeah. So that's absolutely a good attitude.
So obviously, CSW is known for its catch, but I didn't know. Do you the grappling that takes place there, is it Jiu-Jitsu? Because I know Eric Paulson, the owner and the proprietor of CSW, is a black belt in a bunch of different disciplines. But is it actually called Jiu-Jitsu or
catch wrestling?
Oh, so it is catch wrestling.
So they refer to it as catch.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know.
In gi or
I haven't been to the gi class.
Okay.
But,
yeah.
So I bet it's called Jiu-Jitsu for their gi class, but I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
But man, it's not as much catch as you would even think. You look at Curtis Millender.
Yeah,
dude,
for sure.
Knocking fools out.
Yep.
Yeah,
he's a beast. Yeah.
Curtis Millender, Jacob Rosales.
Yeah, Rosales.
Absolutely.
Yep. The little badger.
Yeah.
You know what, though? I have an experience at CSW, totally unrelated, but they have a Native American shaman guy and his son that do therapy. I don't know if you know them or not, if they're still there. When my neck first got jacked up, I went over there, and somebody had introduced me, and I paid him some cash, and the feeling that you have after a fight camp or after a really hard sparring session, that you're pumped up, but your bones hurt, and you got aches and pains in places that you never knew. That's what happened after they kind of did this therapy on me. And it's some Native American thing, man, where he just beat me up. He grinded my muscles and stuff, and my neck hurt, but all of a sudden my whole body hurt. So I thought it would work, and it did to some extent make me better. But
wow.
I was hoping you knew the guy, but he's they're shamans, man. They were crazy, and they're in CSW.
Wow.
And they're like a father-son team, and they just beat the hell out of you to get better. so I can relate to the beating the hell out of you kind of
yeah.
thing. Like, it hurt. I mean, bad. Like, I couldn't drive my car for a half hour after I left that place.
Wow.
So it was gnarly. So I know a lot of stuff goes on there, and I got to watch a lot of people train. So they throw.
Oh yeah,
that's for sure. And when they roll, they roll. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's some crazy lineage from Mike Rush, and shout out to Mike Rush,
That's
Tom
right.
Landeros, and the rest of the team there. But then, going to Coach Ben Jones. And, and,
he's intense. He's a character.
Oh, and with a new podcast coming out in 3 short days. What is it, like Tales from the Bar or something like that? Yeah. So check that out. Ben is a character, so shout out to Ben Jones and his new podcast, because that's going to be a fun time.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Hey, Robert, do we have that queued up? We're not good. Okay, give us a thumbs up if you get that queued up with Benson Henderson. But talking about Nick Patea, my man, recently fought in Spar Stars, got some stuff coming up. What are you thinking about the future?
Oh man, I'm just ready to get in there. I'm waiting to get the call, waiting to see who it is. It
Okay.
really doesn't matter who it is. I'm trying to be cocky, but man, these guys at CSW, they making me two different beasts, and I'm just ready. I'll take whoever.
That's the way to be, right? You got to be open to whatever they throw you, especially when you're trying to make a name for yourself.
Oh yeah.
And I know you're open to that. We always hear you talking about it, but you show it. You know, you show up for the game prepared. So we definitely hope for that. But we should give a shout out to Tony Padilla,
Oh yeah.
Mike
for sure.
Gross.
Yeah,
Gross,
right?
my man.
Dominance and prominence himself.
That's
yeah.
right. All those guys at Spar Star, because they put on a good show,
But awesome show.
right?
Yeah,
Very
absolutely.
professional.
Absolutely. I mean, I want to say that they're the preeminent, camo sanctioned card in California. And I mean, there are so many awesome shows, Epic down in San Diego, Knockout with Tracy Hess at the Metroflex in Long Beach.
Yep.
There's so many of it, but yeah, man, what Tony does is next level.
It
so I
is.
think we've got that clip for Benson Henderson. So
That's right.
we'll go to that. Thank you for
Let her rip, Robert.
that.
That's pretty cool. And I know our own producer here, Polynesian Panda, shot that footage. So that was really cool that he
Super
had
dope.
that. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you saw that hook, but Ben threw such a hard hook, it looked like it knocked Eddie Chaw off balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Shout out to Eddie Chaw too.
Right?
Yeah.
For real, man. When you're holding mitts and somebody throws that hard, jeez
Yeah,
almighty, man. That's some punch.
So for somebody that obviously, Benson Smooth Henderson, who's such a huge influence on your fight career, to see him do it at such a high level, like still,
Yeah.
what did that mean to you?
I mean, he is just inspiring, man. He's a legend for sure in my book, and I think he does get overlooked, and I think he deserves love from everybody.
Yeah,
I don't know how you could not like him.
I'm a fan, so he's getting love from me all day long. So love that dude, love his camp, all those dudes. So just watching that little portion, his angles, right? He's changing angles. You don't see that
for
kind
sure.
of work, right? That's
Yeah.
pretty dirty, man.
Super
so
smooth.
it shows how slick he is.
Yeah.
I love that. Any other fighters that inspire you? We talked a lot about Benson. Anybody else you're looking at?
I mean, we know Connor's there. We know Israel Adesanya's there.
What did you think about Adesanya the other night?
Oh, bro, I knew it was gonna happen. I thought he was gonna knock him out, but
Well,
he's
tell
a
me
different-
about that, because I thought maybe it would go that way too, but Anderson Silva looked like Anderson Silva. to
Yeah,
me.
Anderson Silva is a walking legend, and he will always be. And he showed up.
Yeah.
He really did. I
For
mean,
sure.
for how
He
old
showed
he is,
up, right? His game showed up,
mhm.
right? It wasn't just that he
the
went
whole
up and,
come over here,
Yeah,
come
yeah,
over
yeah.
here.
That's his game,
vintage, yeah.
right? We love
we
that.
didn't really
That's what
see
we
that
wanna
against
see.
Daniel Cormier.
Hell no.
But I think Israel did bring it out of him.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Because he had to. If he didn't, he was gonna get head kicked and he was gonna get knocked out. And that's what I thought was gonna happen. But I really like Adesanya's just his whole persona. He's really he's just super confident.
Different, man.
Yeah. I just want to see that wrestling tested. But.
Yeah, well,
That's for sure.
You mentioned Stylebender being confident, but it's a different type of because I guess the standard bearer of current day MMA is Conor McGregor, but what Israel has, it's something different.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I
You
want to
could
say, it's almost like Amanda Nunes in terms of wholesomeness. They could be your neighbor that can also kick your ass.
Yeah,
exactly. That's a whole different deal. And then they've got, the way that Israel dresses and what have you. It's not outlandish, but he's got his taste into what the culture is,
Yeah, exactly.
So he's a different beast, and I think they've got lightning in a bottle with him, if they do it right. I wouldn't give him a title shot right now.
I don't think so. I want to see him versus Paulo Costa.
Oh, gosh, that'd be
that would be a
crazy.
good one.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Oh my gosh,
He's a
Nick
beast.
Maynard, man, watch out for your spot.
Oh,
because
yeah.
Nick Patea
Watch out.
coming to
I'm coming
match
for
with the
everybody's
UFC,
spot.
man.
Oh yeah.
Jeez.
But is he supposed to fight Yoel Romero?
I think
Yeah,
that's what
that's-
they talked
that's-
about.
That was in
yeah.
the talks, right?
Yeah, no, I think it's official.
Oh, it
Yeah, I want to say it's either. I want to say it's maybe an ESPN card, and ESPN. I mean, they are packing the cards for. I mean, it's crazy. This last two, it's just been incomparable.
Yeah.
I would even say the last UFC ESPN card was better than that current UFC pay per view.
Yeah.
So. Just saying. So that's going to be Paulo Costa and Yoel Romero.
We're all watching that, right?
Oh,
We
my
got to get together for
gosh.
that one.
He's a beast,
that's so
man.
good.
So is Yoel.
Yeah,
41.
Yoel, Jesus.
41,
Bro,
right? Yeah, and
he's
it's
gonna look better than I ever would.
yeah, right. And it's the crazy thing because a lot of people going into it, they thought, Stylebender versus Anderson. There was, the talk of the town was essentially, they're feeding, Anderson to the young lion, blah blah blah, whatever,
Yeah.
and it didn't happen. Same thing with Yoel, and it's so crazy because this age of the older statesmen of MMA. Now, obviously, there are exceptions to the rule. Obviously, Chuck Liddell. What happened with Tito Chuck 3.
Yeah,
but,
that was crazy.
that was crazy.
I didn't
but,
expect to see that at all.
Right. But the thing about it is, when you look at DC, you look at Anderson Silva, you look at Yoel Romero, these guys still, deep into their 40s or in their early 40s,
And they're dangerous.
still can churn out championship level
Exactly.
output. That's so crazy. And against, guys 10, 15 years they're junior.
Yeah.
It's a huge gap.
Yeah, for sure, dude. It's crazy, And again, you could play MMA math. It's almost hard to do because you're like this style set versus this style set. This person should win, and then one head kick can change it all.
It's the beauty of it.
Yeah,
though.
absolutely, and sometimes even end a career at times. So it's the greatest sport in the world. To my estimation.
Absolutely.
What is whether it be competing or actually watching as a viewer? What is your favorite fight at this time?
It's a great question.
I'm not gonna think too hard, but the first fight that just popped in my head was Duho Choi and Cub. Yeah, bro. That's just the first one that pops in my head. I mean, it's not a title fight or anything, not even a main event, but it was. I think that's what was so awesome about it was, whoa, like who is this dude? And then it was like, damn, he could take it, he could give it.
Yep.
And so that's the first fight. I mean, I think the Nate Diaz and Connor 2 was an awesome fight.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, we could go like Gus and Jones, obviously. But
Yeah, man.
yeah. Robbie Lawler and McDonald.
My goodness.
Slugfest.
I mean,
That was a slugfest.
Yeah, man.
Awesome.
Split lips and whatever.
Yeah.
And that's
Crazy.
I mean, literally, if you could write a love letter to the sport of mixed martial arts and why people should watch it, that is almost one of. There's got to be like maybe 5.
Yeah.
And that's one of them for sure.
Got to.
So, as far as being a fighter, on the local scene, as rich and talent based as this SoCal region is, what has been a cool fight that you've got to see kind of up close and personal? Can you remember one?
My boy Joey Dorado when he just got that sweet knockout. Shout out,
Yeah,
brother.
buddy.
Man, I mean, I didn't really get to see it up close, but I was in the back watching it, and man, he's always got that overhand right, and they know it's coming, and he still lands it. I mean, it was really cool just to see the whole squad just go out there and always leave it in there. So I got to give it out to my boy Joey.
Yeah, shout out to Joey, man. That was a crazy fucking knockout, man.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
He's a beast.
So, Dondo, any fights come to mind? Like one of your kind of linchpins, like you have to see this?
For me, it's so personal because, we see so many fights, but the ones that really have my heart are like the guys that you train with, like watching Henry Corrales fight. I mean, of course, it just happened, right?
Yeah.
And he came back from, it was a tough shot from Aaron Pico.
Yeah, for sure.
And he came back.
Yeah.
And then dropped him, and that was huge. I know it was a quick fight, but my heart's with the dude because I know him, so it's different, right?
Mm-hmm.
And training here at Delo Jiu-Jitsu where we film, one of the few people that I know that actually got to watch his instructor fight for years. And John Dello came back from cancer and came back and won, and it was amazing. So those kind of things, man, they really sit with you beyond like the battles of all of our heroes. My instructor's my hero. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I watched him do all that and come back and fight strong, and then that changes you because it makes you want to push through everything. Probably why I'm so damn injured because hell, he pushed through cancer. I'm gonna push through a neck injury before you know it. I can't even freaking move.
Yeah.
So yeah, you learn to push through things from other people, and that's where I draw my inspiration. Not that I don't love, the Anderson Silva fights that when he was running through everybody and dancing around, and I just loved watching all of that because he was the Bruce Lee of that generation.
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
I'm a Bruce Lee kid. I'm born in the 70s, so that was what I loved, and it was kind of a mythological time for martial arts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So we watched Enter the Dragon and all those movies, and there was no cage then, and there was no jiu-jitsu then that we knew of, not here in America.
Mm-hmm.
So all that stuff we were still learning. We didn't know what was real, what wasn't, what was dominant, what wasn't until 1993 when this UFC thing starts and they start pitting, karate against boxing and boxing against jiu-jitsu and wrestling, and all the different styles and what would be dominant came about. And now this whole thing, right, we know that it's going to take a little ground, a little bit of kicking, a little bit of strike, right, a little bit of everything.
Absolutely.
Right? A whole lot of other things and a whole lot of heart, really. So, man, I've been a fan of all of it, and I love watching fights, and so much so that I feel so fortunate that I can go and interview and meet people like Nick, because it's so proud to have Nick here because I watch him fight, and he does not leave it to the judges. He gives everything he has to finish it if he possibly can. I love that about you. So, we don't just invite everybody on, you know what I mean? I just know you leave it all out there, and it's a young man's journey. He's so early, 20 years old, trying to get up there, and this is a place, especially in Southern California, where it's stacked with wicked competitors. And to still have, a smile on his face and just go for it and say, throw me whoever you got.
Yeah.
Put me wherever you want to put me.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why he's here. That's why I love this guy, because I'm a fan of his and as a person and as a fighter. So he lives right, takes his girl wherever he goes.
Oh, yeah.
You know it.
Man.
She's here sitting on the couch cheering him on right now.
Yeah.
So it doesn't get any cooler than that,
Absolutely, man. And so where do you think that indelible spirit comes from? I mean, literally, there are tougher ways. There are easier ways to make a living than as a fighter, especially on this level. So, that kind of never say die attitude, where does that come from? Where do you attribute that from?
I don't know, man. It's really hard because, especially with my dad owning like a business and stuff, it's like, man, I don't have to get hit in the face. I could just go over there, get paid good.
Yeah.
Get everything worked out and.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. But it's really easy to be like that, and I know that in general just drives me to like, well, that's easy. Like I like it's really from like my parents, I think, especially my dad. He's like, man, like you don't have to do this. Like go do and I know that's would be given to me. I kind of wanted something that.
It's great to have that foundation though, that your dad cares enough to and then you're like, no, I'm going to do it my way.
Yeah. Exactly,
but
but
it's not every day. Some fighters, man, they got a chip on their shoulder because they don't know their old man and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So you're fighting from your heart because you ain't got to do it.
Yeah.
You know, you want to do it. So
Of course.
Says
I
a
mean,
lot.
I feel like a lot of stuff was given to me, and I'm very fortunate to and blessed to have all that stuff. But then it's like, man, like, then I could definitely do this, you know? Like, I'm going to take advantage of, you know, you going to pay for my training? Then I'm going to go there all the time. I'll be there all the time.
Pretty
You
cool.
know?
Yeah, for
so,
sure.
I mean, I'm very blessed and very fortunate to have the parents that I do. And, like, just tell me how it is. They're very straight up, and it hurts, but that's just where I got it from.
that's pretty cool. Shout out to mom and dad.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
Big shout out.
Right?
Yeah, for sure. And it almost reminds me of LFA and CXF veteran Vince the Anomaly Cachero. You know, his dad basically owns the Boiling Crab restaurants, the chain of restaurants, right? And
I had no idea I've been giving Vince all my money because that's where I eat.
there you go.
And he's a homie.
Yeah, absolutely. But this is a guy who, like you, literally, you know, takes it seriously. You know, that, I mean, yeah, you know, comes from a place where you don't have to do that. And again, you know, my dad basically taught me you can tell a person's spirit about how they treat you, whether they have to treat you well or not, right? So for you guys to be fighting in the way that you guys do, you guys are so compelling. You know, it's almost like you're laying your life on the line when you get into the cage there, right? And to know that you don't necessarily have to do that. You do it because you want to. That's almost like the fight that your dad fought for his business.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
like that's kind of it, you know. So, you know, your dad fought in the cage of the business, you know, realm and what have you, and you're doing the same thing, but almost on the literal stance in MMA.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool, right?
Thank you.
Yeah, man. That's super dope, man.
The apple didn't fall far from the tree.
No, not at all,
certainly
man.
did not.
You know, that's cool.
Yeah.
I love that. Hey, a big shout out right here. We got an event coming up. Celtic Gladiator has been an event that has been here in California a couple times. In Europe, I believe 7-8 times. In Poland, in Ireland, I know in Manchester, England.
Yeah.
But we have an event coming up April 27th, Florentine Gardens, Hollywood Boulevard. It's going to be called Gladiator Academy. It's a mixed martial arts event, amateur mixed martial arts event. So we'll be talking. But coming up, and that is the logo behind us with LA in the background. My buddy Nick right here in the middle. But shout out to Albert Jarzabak. He is the CEO and owner of Celtic Gladiator. We're going to be putting this event on in his, with him overseeing the operation. But we're here in California, so the Polynesian Panda for fighters that are looking for a fight. Reach out. EventTV.global. Hit us up because we're putting together fights as we speak. Matchmakers here on the premises, John Della O.
Ooh.
So, yeah. And any of us, if you got our Instagrams, shoot us a message, whatever you need to do, because we're trying to match people up and get this thing put on for April 27th, so it's going to happen.
Hey,
Excited.
I might know a guy in Nick Patea
I
that
know.
maybe,
Well, you know.
Hey,
Yeah,
I'll never know.
yeah.
Just let Ben
We're-
Jones know, and if he
Right.
tells me, I do it. So
Right
Absolutely.
on.
I'm
talk to
always
Ben.
down.
We'll talk to Ben.
always.
And a
And
huge shout
Get
out
this.
to a sponsor here in Final Round Fight Gear, maker of tremendous quality preconditioned gloves. Gloves in which that I have here. But if you basically use the Gym Crashers code when you send in your emails to Charlton and the rest of the crew, you'll get a really big discount. And again,
I'm gonna buy a
these
pair.
are gloves that have been research and development by fighters. You know, like literally the first run of them, the prototypes, they literally were like, hey, how do you feel, Fight Academy Pasadena? And I want to say that background is one of the original locations for Fight Academy in Pasadena. And they literally went and tested this with fighters, and they were like, hey, you need to do this better. I want the feel of this and what have you. And that's what you see in Final Round Fight Gear. So shout out to Charlton and the rest of the crew there.
Good-looking
And,
gloves.
Thank you for your sponsorship. It's tremendous.
Yep, absolutely. We'll put those things to use because we don't just talk about it, we actually do it here. So
Absolutely.
It is
So,
what we do.
finalroundgear.com is where you want to go, and just let them know that we sent you. That's cool. You'll like them.
So again, at checkout, you
Yeah,
type in Gym
absolutely.
Crashers with an S.
Yes, Gym Crashers.
Gym Crashers will get you that deal. So if you're looking for a set of gloves, I don't know whatever else is on there, but I imagine everything else. Right?
They've got gloves, Muay Thai pads, wraps,
mitts.
Everything that you could, mitts, anything that you could think of that you may need. Even down to mouth guards.
I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's your one-stop shop for your MMA needs. So go check them out at finalroundgear.com.
Very cool. Always looking for that, man. I mean, because we all need new gloves. You blow the hell out of them, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So going from Mike Rush's camp to CSW, now, did you know kind of the historical significance of CSW?
I had no idea. Mike Rush actually sent me there.
What?
Yeah, I was like, man, I need to get better. I need more heads. And
that's really cool for a coach to do that.
I mean, there's not many. And he's the one that's just like, hey, man, go check it out. They're beasts. And he was right, but I had no idea really about anything about them.
So first day at CSW for Nick Patea, what does that look like?
Oh, bro, it's terrible. The first, I just had to get past the first week, you know, because if I could go past the first week, then I could do it, and I legit almost didn't do it. Like wow. I was like when Thursday was coming, I was like, man, I do not want to go, and I was even telling my girl, telling my family, I was like, man, I don't even want to do MMA anymore. Like I thought, bro, they're over here whooping me. Like I thought it was good, you know, and I was like, especially going from from All In, I felt good. Like the only guys that are really whooping me are the pros, you know. So it's like Tom and Steve and all of them.
Yeah.
Well, Mike Hansen's over there. My homeboy Mike.
Oh yeah, and then
Mighty Mouse.
So going in there to CSW is like, man, I'm getting worked by everybody here. They're doing something different. But that was also the thing that they're doing something different. They're doing something a lot different than what I'm doing.
Yeah,
and so that's what kept me there, is because if I could go in here with them, then there's nobody that could beat me.
That's good.
It was tough.
Now, first day in, or first weekend rather, who were you most impressed with? I guess like when you walked in and you're like, hey, maybe I should get some rounds with that guy.
Oh man,
like who was that?
It's definitely Jacob Rosales. Especially because we're kind of similar in weight.
Yeah, for sure.
Of course,
yeah. Big shout out to him. I mean, he always beats the crap out of me, but I was like, man, it's not just me. He's doing it too. It was doing it to everybody.
He's an exciting fighter, right?
Exciting. He's not scared,
right?
I mean, obviously Curtis, he's a beast, and Trent's a beast. But I'd probably just chose him because he was around my weight.
Yeah.
But Trent is an animal as well.
Absolutely, and a shout out to the Little Badger, Jacob Rosales, LFA veteran. Was able to catch up with him right after his LFA fight with him, Curtis, and Coach Ben Jones. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know, but his name, Little Badger, is literally derived from Ben Jones.
Yeah.
You know, because Ben Jones, during his fighting career, was the Badger. Still is the Badger. I'm not going to tell him different.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't advise anybody else either.
That's really cool.
But with that being said, you know, Jacob has never trained anywhere else. He's literally been there since he was 7, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, day one. Never ever trained at any other gym. And it wasn't actually Ben that gave him the name. The folks in the gym were like, Ben, he trains like you. He kind of fights like you. Whatever. And it was the gym that literally gave him the moniker of Little Badger, you know?
Those are the names that stick.
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
When it's something heartfelt like that.
Yeah, so it's just, and again, to watch the kinship that you guys have at CSW, it's something to behold because, again, and shout out to Jacob and Curtis, who just, along with Trent, got elected to co-captains of the CSW team. So shout out to them.
And Jacob fought in Celtic Gladiator, I'll have you know.
Yes, he did. So it's kind of crazy because, again, you've got, some of the coolest and most, even Joe Rogan was talking about Curtis, talking about that guy's got superstar potential on his podcast, right? So with that being said, you see Jacob, you see Trent, you see Ben, you see Curtis, and the rest of you guys, all alpha males, all alpha females, and what have you. And there is not one iota of ego about you guys. At any point, you could be on your best day and out grapple Curtis or Ben.
I don't know about Curtis, or I don't know about any of those those
Shoot
three.
for the moon,
but
even if you fall
I'll
short.
try,
Land
but I'll
among
try.
the
But
stars.
I'm not gonna agree with that.
Yeah.
But with throwing everybody else, I understand what you're saying, but they're all super cool over there. Like they welcome me, and I already feel like part of it.
That's good.
And it just felt like a long time coming with them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, in talking to Coach Ben, and Curtis and Jacob, like, you think we're badass. Oh, wait until you see the amateurs that we've got coming out.
Yeah.
And you are one of them, and it's kind of cool to see that, again, there are that fourth wall essentially got broken down. There's no difference between a pro, amateur, whatever. You guys are all fighters. You guys have both decided to, all decided to do this, entrusted everything into Coach Ben's tutelage and what have you, and to see it pay off, of course it happens in every gym, across the world. But again, the kinship that you guys have and the respect that you guys have, it almost seems like, grappling or, taking rounds with each other, and you're like, okay, this guy's... Yeah, it's crazy, man. And again, you've been in other gyms before, but like that atmosphere, like
very different.
Where do you think that has put you in the trajectory of your career?
Man, I think it skyrocketed me. Like I think I got the skill. I think I got talent, but by the pace I was going, it was just like, and then when we were at CSW, it's like, damn, like we going.
You seem hungrier now, man.
Yeah. I mean, especially coming off a 2-fight loss, I've never been hungrier.
Good.
Like
that's the way to be.
It's really opened my eyes to see, man, like I don't see any other way than us all going to where we want to go.
Yeah.
Like
you haven't reached your potential yet,
I
buddy.
wouldn't be surprised to see 36 guys from CSW being in the UFC.
Wow.
I really don't. And it's not just because I'm there. It's just because I see how much hard work that they put in, and that's like, man, I just got here.
Yep.
Like they've been putting in that work before I was there, and before
Yeah, I mean, I'm going back to Coach Paulson's days. Literally like he's the OG. When it comes to, the walls of CSWs are literally adorned with all of the accommodations and belt rankings that he has. It's so crazy.
It's ridiculous.
You know what? I see some ink on my buddy here, so I have to ask him, because it isn't average ink, man. You got some stuff going on. What we got
shout
going
out
on
to
here?
Eric Machado, Laguna Beach. I got a gorilla on this side. I got a tiger on this side. The gorilla is really just to remind me about the power that gorillas got, and I want to have that power. And I got the eyes of the tiger on me, because it's like, when a tiger sees something, it goes and gets it, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go and get it. This is my most precious piece. It just says hope with the breast cancer signs. That's for my mom's. She kicking ass, so I could get in there, kick some ass too.
There you go.
Right on. So where was that at? Laguna Beach Tattoo?
Yeah, it was
PCH?
Laguna Beach. It was Castor Crowns, I believe it's called. They got some killers in there. But I'm gonna get this tribal piece too, but we working on the money for that.
That's cool, man. They better hook you up, man.
Oh,
You're talking about their stuff on there now, right? Take care of a brother.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You know
for
it.
sure.
Yep.
No, talk about the eye of the tiger, man. Since Coach Ben basically, was not awarded, but earned the role of head coach, I want to say this is, there's a couple gyms that obviously they had glory before, like a Black House or what have you, but it seems like this era of CSW may be the best ever.
I believe so as well.
Yeah.
The structure that Ben puts, makes for us is just it's ridiculous, and it's hey man, you got to be there. Like it's literally mandatory to be at practice, and I think that was something that, made me better, because it's easy if you ain't going to practice, I'm not going to go either.
Yeah.
When it's like, you ain't going to practice, I got to go.
Yeah, if you got homies, especially.
Yeah, and then
you ain't gonna go.
You're going to get cut off the team,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just little stuff like that Ben does that really changes the game. It's like, man, you got to be there. You got to do this stuff. Like, you don't want to be here, get out. And that's a strong way
to be, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
But if you're sharpening the level of warriors, right, that are really going to compete at a high level, then that's the way it's got to be.
Exactly.
Right.
And then even you talked about the structure, awarding Ben being the head coach and then the team captains.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very wrestling centric, collegiate wrestling centric type of methodology, but it seems like it's something that it works in spades because I feel like, if you had a problem, you could go to Trent or Curtis or Jacob.
For sure.
And the whole rest of the team, it's not just you. I mean, even stepping in, when Ben is not there and what have you, there's almost other folks to kind of, assume the mantle so nobody gets left out.
Yeah, exactly.
And again, it fosters that synergy of a team, and like I said, it's very unique. Obviously, you see kinships amongst gyms and what have you, but like across the whole gym, because anytime that you have a bunch of people together, right? What happens? People group up and whatever.
Clicky.
Yeah, exactly. But it doesn't seem that way with you guys. It just seems like everybody's going to get good rounds. We're all going to push each other, and we're all, if need be, I need to be there for you. I'm going to be there for you, just like you'll be there for me.
Exactly.
Didn't Curtis and Jacob corner your fight?
Curtis. No, well, Curtis was there, and then I think Jacob was just busy. But they do that for everybody too.
Exactly.
If Ben can't make it, Trent will step in. If Ben can't make it, Curtis will, and so will Jacob. Like they're always all there. Big shout out to our other coach, Coach Dale at Legends
Dale
Boxing.
Roybal, and Legends.
Yeah, he's a super dope coach, and
Absolutely.
he obviously knows what he's talking about.
Very cool.
And he's in our corner as well. He wraps my hands, and just big shout out to you.
Yeah, man. And again, so I mean, like I said, as far as the greatest era of CSW, it's there. And one of the first installations under Coach Ben's regime was employing Coach Dale Roybal of Legends Boxing, essentially coming in as a coach. And he, like you, wasn't aware of the lineage of the CSW deal. But you look at the hands of all of you guys, how they've immensely improved. It's crazy, man.
It really is.
That's cool. I like that background knowledge that you have about CSW, and I'm glad to know that your coach even pushed you to go there. It's an amazing story, and I want to encourage people to watch Nick as he moves forward in his career, because it's going to be a good one.
Now, for those, it's crazy to think that people don't know where CSW is at, but it's in Fullerton, right?
Yeah, it's right off Fullerton. It's like Fullerton Brea area.
Yeah.
Right off of Imperial and Palm, but it ain't that far.
That's right.
Come over here.
That's right. Check him out. He's training over there. Where can they find you on social media?
You guys can find me on Instagram or Twitter, just Nick_Patea. Give me a follow. Message me. Like, let me know you want to get this work. Like, I'll bring you in with me. We could ride together. We could both go CSW. And if you want to get in this, get in this.
Get in it.
Because the game is going.
I like it.
And we don't stop.
So, obviously, you step into the cage alone, but you have a wealth of a support system with you. Let's shout some of those folks out, my man.
Oh, man, I got to shout out everybody that...
It's a lot of them.
Oh, my God. I don't even know where to start. I got to shout out all my girls and everyone she brings, all her cousins, all her aunts, all her friends. They all come out. They all show me love. I got to shout out all my family. There's so many of y'all. So y'all know who it is.
That's right.
I got to give a shout out to all my friends. I know that you guys don't got that much cash, but you still come out. And all my wrestling buddies that still came out, I really appreciate everybody that comes and supports me. And I know it's not the most convenient times. I know that it's on a Saturday and you got to spend a buttload of money, but we all gonna get rich from this.
That's
so
right.
just ride with me. We all eat.
That's right.
Yeah.
Shout out to Commerce Casino and Spar Star.
Oh yeah,
for putting
big
it
shout
on,
out to you guys.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all
Love
giving
those
me a main
events.
event after I lose. Y'all crazy.
Yep. It's a
Yeah.
good one.
But yeah, appreciate it though.
Yeah. So we talked about your 2-fight losing streak. Obviously, in probably the most publicized instance in modern day MMA, we saw Ronda Rousey fall. And fall really deep after the loss of Holly Holm, right? And one would argue, even in the fight with Amanda Nunes, didn't really come back, right? So, what did you learn about yourself as a person and a fighter after those 2 losses?
I mean, after especially losing 2 in a row, I really just kind of had to look in the mirror and like, man, like, is it even worth doing all this work?
Yeah.
Is it worth?
You mentioned that you might walk away, so yeah, you're going through
it was really going in my head, but like this last loss wasn't that hard on me because I felt good. Like I was like, you know, I got caught.
You look good too.
Yeah, and it was just like I felt super confident, especially having Ben in my corner and all that, everybody supporting me and everything. It really didn't take that big of a toll on me. The Danny fight really did, because it was like man, he beat me. Like it was a 3-round war, and he was better than me that night. And so that one really took a toll on me, and it was like, oh, I don't really want to fight right now. I want to just train and train and train and train. But the Ferris fight really opened my eyes, because it kind of actually showed me how good I could be if I was confident, like 100% confident in what I do. And I was hitting him like I've never hit anybody before. I like that. And so it really didn't take that big of a toll on me. It just really motivated me, like, man, he could barely hang on. Like I don't like to say if, because we don't know, but one could argue that if that fight was to go on, it, you know, whatever. But it really just kind of empowered me to, okay, I just got to get back in next week.
You got this.
Yeah.
You got this.
That's why I'm not tripping at all. It's probably one of or two of many losses, and I know my time is gonna come, and
that's right.
So it's totally fine with me.
I dig that.
Yeah, and I mean, shout out to Johnny Ferris, man.
Big shout out.
I mean, again, you guys, that was a really, really stacked card, and you guys found a way. I mean, you said, oh, after 2 fight loss, and you're in the main event. Everybody that was there at Commerce Casino knew that's the fight that needed to happen.
That's right.
So many people too. Right? It was
Standing
so
only.
loud. Yeah, and shout out to his crowd too, because they showed me love after, and I really, it really did. You know, like it really meant something to my heart that you guys could appreciate a good fight.
Right on.
And me and Johnny will probably always bring it. Me and Danny will always bring it.
Right on. Right on.
Yeah, for sure. And again, you know, it's almost a tradition in Mexican lucha libre where if after a good match you throw pesos in the ring.
Oh yeah.
Well, throw some pesos in my pocket.
Yeah, I mean that was totally befitting of you and Johnny Ferris's fight. I mean, I almost was like, yeah,
oh yeah,
up, man.
Hell yeah,
that was so crazy, man. So again, as far as where can people find you on social media?
Yeah, it's just Nick_Patea on Instagram or Twitter. Follow my guys too.
Hell yeah.
Show them some love, bro. They over here doing this, and they're showing all of us fighters appreciation, everybody else appreciation. So go over there, message them, count on their stuff. Super dope.
Appreciate it, dude. And Dondo, where can people find you, my
Hey,
good sir?
Dondo the Jujutero
Yeah, man.
on Instagram.
Yeah, never face
Free Admission Media.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gym Crashers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
MMA Unbound.
Yeah, damn right. So, and I'm be remiss. I'm according to Woods, but definitely like the page and follow us on YouTube,
Share
Facebook,
the link.
and Instagram. Like, share, subscribe. We're putting out content that you guys want to see, and shout out to Fanboy Nation.
Fanboy Nation. Shout out
right here, baby.
Barstar.
There you go.
What about
Yeah,
that
shout
t-shirt,
out to,
buddy? Look at that.
CSW. That's how we do
CSW,
it. Always.
Barstar. But thank you guys for joining us for another Tuesday night edition of the Gym Crashers. And apparently he's a choke dealer.
Choke dealer.
There was this H.
I know you
Coke
like it.
Dealer.
That's right.
Apparently, this
Apple didn't fall far from the tree from my dad.
There you go.
Minus the H.
There you go. But thank you again for joining us. And up next on the Free Admission Media Network, it's the Royal Ramble. You guys want to check that out. All right. You guys are awesome, and we will see you later.
Next week. Peace.